Go on, Bung Bung, in. It's hot. Go and get the water. Where is my hat? Oh, there it is. My dad wanted to see the aubergines. So these are like little Thai aubergines. They're not like the big long ones. They're small like that. You can eat them raw. We had them raw last night as like our vegetables with dinner. You can put them in curries and stuff. They're similar to like the big purple ones. Yeah, Pen does have a few vegetables on the go. I've just spotted something there. I don't know what that is. You know, in the future we'll add more. Once all the house building's finished and everything's more settled, we can focus more on things like growing vegetables and what I was talking about, some fly, and what I was talking about in the last video a little bit, which was like prepping and things like that, which is something that's on my mind, but I don't actively do it at the moment. I like to walk while I talk, sort of. That's why I walk around when I make the videos. If I stand still, my brain doesn't work properly. I don't know why that is. Yeah, later down the line, it's all going to be about making ourselves a bit more self-sufficient and prepping, if you want to call it that. I'll have to go back to England soon because I've got to go back to work. I've been saying that for like a year and I haven't gone back, but it's still true. Nothing's changed. I have to go back to work. So I've been thinking about like, what am I going to do as regards a YouTube channel? Should I just stop making videos, or should I make some vlogs in England? Do people really want to see that? And so I've been thinking about, if I do want to keep making a few more videos, what can I talk about? And the subject I keep thinking about is the subject of prepping, because what I think about it is the most important part of prepping is learning stuff and gaining new knowledge. So if I want to do a bit of that in the future, then yeah, I need to go and research, don't I? And I thought maybe I could make a few videos about that sort of subject. So I put the one up before with that in the title to see if people engage with it. It seemed to get about as many views as I normally do, and it got quite a few comments. So I'm pleased that people are not turned off by that subject completely. I do understand that some people are following me for completely different reasons, and if I do start making videos about prepping or that sort of subject, I understand it could turn some viewers off, but yeah, but as I say, that's the choice I'm left with. It's either stop making videos or start making videos about a kind of a different subject. So if some viewers don't like that, I'm sorry about that, but I can't please all the people all the time. And I think with this YouTube channel I've been making so far, I have enjoyed it. I like making the videos I've made. They were supposed to be just a bit of light-hearted fun, showing a bit of our everyday life, and I feel like I've done that, and it's kind of finished. And I've made over 100 videos of it, and I feel like I can't keep making those videos forever. I'll get bored and you'll get bored, and you know, I think things need to evolve or they will die. And some people were asking me what happened with my visa. I think that's all okay. Without me knowing, they put an extension stamp in my passport, so I've got another 3 weeks anyway, and then I'm pretty sure in that time it will be approved, so I'm not worrying about that anymore. I was saying in the last video how I think that the idea of prepping and moving away from cities I think that's a more popular idea than it seems. But as I was saying, it's because people are stuck with their jobs and their responsibilities. They don't know how to get out and get away. So, you know, that's the point of the farm, you know, so me and Pen can get away from our jobs and move to a more rural environment and be away from cities. But we're not free yet. I've got to go back and keep earning money. So I suppose if you are interested in prepping and having like a farm or a homestead where you grow your own food a bit, all that sort of thing, step one to that process is get the farm and find a way to make money that's not your job, or find a way to make money remotely. So that's the stage that I'm in, and I think I will be in that stage for 2 or 3 more years at least. But after that, you know, once, let's say all this plan works out, then after that I don't have to work in England anymore. We've got a bit of money from the trees. So then what do we do? And then that's kind of moving into another stage where I think I will be more thinking about growing our own vegetables and being more self-reliant and that kind of thing. So I think long term, that's where my life is headed towards. And I think therefore long term, that's where the videos I make have to head towards. So I think that is the subject that might become more prevalent as time goes by. It's often been about the house build, hasn't it? Like for months on end. And I've said before, I don't want to be making videos about building houses. I don't want to be building houses, but it's just what's happening. But once all that's done, then it'll be more about what I really want to do, which is being a bit more self-reliant. So those are probably the videos I really want to make anyway. And I think self-reliance and things like that is all about knowledge and learning things, learning skills and learning about your local environment. For example, in the mountains up there's probably some decent fresh water sources around. I should probably know where they are. I can start a fire reasonably, but I think it's a skill I could improve, so I should learn to do that a little bit better. And so yeah, I've been thinking to myself, what should I do when I go back to England? Just stop making the videos altogether, or pivot to a new subject matter and a new style. I'm seeing on the news a little bit at the moment, they're talking about food shortages, somewhat in relation to what's going on in Ukraine. I wonder how much truth there is to that, but whether it's true or not, the powers that be seem to want the idea of food shortages in the minds of the people at the moment. So I'm sure I'm not the only one out there that has it in their mind to sort of secure their own food supply a little bit. I've also heard recently in England that they're going to start putting fluoride in the water. Now, I don't know whether that's good or bad. Some people say that's bad. But I think it would be better if they at least gave people the option, you know, just leave the water alone and sell fluoride tablets for those who want to opt in. Isn't that better? And if that's the direction we're heading, then wouldn't it be better to have your own water supply and maybe add your own fluoride if you wanted to? It all seems a bit funny to me, what's going on these days. You're not really allowed to talk about it either. You know, if you talk about it, then you're questioning the science, and you're not allowed to do that. And I don't know. I think it's all a bit crazy. I know I'm rambling a bit now, aren't I? I started talking about YouTube videos, but this is what happens when I make these things. So, is there a country around where freedoms are increasing, like anywhere? If there is, I don't hear about it. It's always, you know, it's always more surveillance and more tracking, and cost of living increases, and all that means is less freedom, isn't it? If you have less money, you have less choice and less freedom. So every time the cost of living goes up, your level of freedom just went down. So is there any government out there that's introducing less surveillance? Is there any country on earth where the cost of living is going down? And just other reasons why I'd rather be on a farm in the middle of nowhere, taking care of myself, than, you know, wrapped up in that system of control and surveillance. Anyway, that's just what I think about it. I think more freedom is better, and I can get more freedom over here in rural Thailand than I can anywhere else, as far as I can see. It's just all a bit odd, isn't it? You know, we have all these technological advances and newer, faster, more efficient building techniques and materials, and robots and computers are doing half the work. How can it be that we have all of that stuff, all of this advancement, but for some reason the lives of the people are all like getting worse? Everything's more expensive, it's more difficult to live. How can that possibly be? It doesn't make any sense. Whichever way you look at it, doesn't make any sense. I'm getting down a bit of a rabbit hole here, which I could go much further into, but normally, as you know, if you're a regular viewer, I don't talk about this sort of stuff. I try to make it all light-hearted, but perhaps in the future I will give my thoughts about this sort of subject matter. Yeah, you'd think as every year goes by, cost of living would go down, access to food would improve, education would get better and cheaper, access to healthcare would get better. But for some reason it's all going the other way. And so either the politicians are completely incompetent, or maybe they want it to go that way. Maybe that's the plan. Did I say that? So yeah, all smells a bit fishy to me, and I'd rather be as far away from it all as I could possibly get. So just farms back here, right the way to the foot of the mountains there. That dark green there is like the edge of the mountain. It's quite steep. You can't walk up it. You need sort of climbing gear, I reckon. I think there is a way up into the mountain. I've got to get Pen to show it to me. Find out where the fresh water is. Certainly can't drink that stuff. Or maybe you could with a water purifier. That's something I don't know that I should know. So I think I've gone completely off subject, haven't I? I'm off on a big tangent somewhere. This happens sometimes. Normally I just edit it all out and you'll never see it. You'll just see like Gorgie and Bung Bung and... Well, I'm back home now. I like to walk around when I do the videos. As I say, it helps me think when I'm walking for some reason, but when it's really hot like today, the phone overheats and So I was trying to say, you know, it's a bit funny, isn't it? How whether it's the left-wing politicians in or the right-wing politicians in, is anything really getting better? From what I can see, it isn't. It all seems to be going in the wrong direction, and I just get a feeling that something funny is going on somewhere. It doesn't make sense to me. And wait, it all ties into some of the reasons why I'd rather be here on a farm in Thailand than in England or most other Western countries. So yeah, normally I would edit this all out and you wouldn't see it, but as I was saying, I've got to make videos about something else in the future, don't I? So I thought I'd try out some of these subjects and see if I strike a chord with any of the viewers. I mean, that's another thing. When I say things like this, I feel like I shouldn't really be saying it, because, you know, there's all that free speech stuff as well. And I feel sometimes, you know, on social media, you say the wrong thing and you can get yourself banned or something. And that's all a bit funny too, isn't it? It's nice and peaceful here today. No rain clouds around yet. They say the rain's finished for now. That's what I heard. Got a couple more doors delivered. Got some problems to sort out with those. Everyone's asleep. And in the bathroom, I've got some problems with these drains. The shower is pretty much done. All works okay. It's nice to have an inside shower, a hot shower again. So yeah, that's what I'm doing for the rest of the day. I'm doing battle under the sink. There's Bung Bung down there, that's where he likes to sleep.